gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Party people, how you feeling?
All right, guys, is everybody recovered? Is everybody feeling good? Everybody feeling a little bit has it all sunk in with you yet? The Bucks are Super Bowl champions. It took me, I think, until the parade. I was watching the boat parade. I was watching all the shenanigans going on during the boat parade, and I was watching the speeches. And I think it was during the speeches that all of a sudden, I think that's when it really sunk in that the Bucks won the Super Bowl. Um, and how exciting that is. And okay, now we got to start to look forward to next year. And I think all of that started going through my head about that point. So I think that's when everything really started to sink in that this is for real. You start looking at next year, and I think we're going to start doing that tonight. We can still look back, but we're also going to take a little peek ahead. And let's talk about the NFC South and what lies ahead for the NFC South for all the different teams. And I think we've got a lot to cover. The offseason is going to be a lot shorter offseason. It's going to feel a lot shorter because there's an extra month of football that we got to watch. So I guess the postseason is going to be about 1 month shorter than what as Bucks fans we're all used to. We're not used to playing all that extra bonus football. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. I already see you guys. Mike, hello. How you doing? Teresa, how you doing? Yakin Ben Israel, how you doing? Yes, Yakin, we are still Super Bowl champions. How about that? I can't even. I don't. There aren't words for it. There aren't words for the excitement and just the disbelief. And Brady talking about restructuring so that the team has more money and to pay the players. And I mean, there's so much stuff when you look at it. There's so much stuff that just leaves you scratching your head, going, wow, this is for real. This is New England. Tampa is now New England South for a couple of years. The free agents are wanting to come here. Brady's taken a team friendly pay cut, salary, which you can afford to do when you and your wife are worth $100 or $830 million. When you're pushing $1 billion between you and your wife, you can afford to say, you know what, we'll go ahead and drop $5-10 million off my salary. We can handle that. So anyway, I think it's a pretty. There's so much fun to look forward now. It's not just fun looking back, and it is going to be fun looking back on this year, but it's fun looking forward, just knowing that there's that kind of realistic hope, realistic, almost expectation this year. I'll go there. I'll even say maybe expectation, and let's see what happens. Mike DeRoche
going, bro?
Okay, guys, I am back. The freaking producer, really does hate my show. I mean, he really hates my show. He just unplugged the internet. I'm not kidding. That's what the producer thinks about the show. Wow. So that happened. Anyway, guys, sorry about that. If you lost me, I lost you there for a minute. Do you guys have me back now? Everybody, tell me if you can see me or not. Okay. Thank you, Johnny. I'm guessing that meow means yes, you can see me. That was pretty funny. I mean, that actually happened. The freaking producer, the foul-mouthed producer, unplugged the show. That covers everything about the foul-mouthed producer. Welcome to welcome to my life. Anyway, guys, I guess now I'm not sure. And when you, Mike, when you come back, if you will connect here, I'm going to put the link in the chat for you guys. I'd like for you to come on and talk to me, Mike. If you come on, I'll talk to you about salary cap and make sure you understood what I was saying. There's the link to come on and talk. Or hear, I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. I want to hear from you guys tonight. I don't want this to just be me sitting here talking at you, but I can certainly do that. We can have some fun with that. I've got some fun little some of the usual shenanigans. We get the meme grinder tonight. We're gonna do that. It's a pretty abbreviated version of it, but I think it'll be something that will be that'll be a lot of fun. But guys, Super Bowl freaking champs and a future that looks brighter than ever. Brady says this is the best, that the best is still to come. Matt Colson.
Hey, man.
How you doing, brother?
You may not have heard, but we're going to get 20 inches of snow here in the next 8 hours.
I did hear there was a whole lot of snow going that way.
Oh, Lord. So this may be the last time you see me live next week because this is going to go till Thursday.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I got nothing in the house but peanut butter and bread.
No fish? No fish?
No, I went to the grocery store, but it was cleaned out like a hurricane was coming. Wasn't even strawberry milk in the fridge.
Well, hopefully you'll still be around. Hopefully you'll still have power. Hopefully you can come on tomorrow night because we're going to be back on at 9. What'd you have for dinner tonight?
Tonight I had one of them Red Baron pizza box.
Oh, those are good. You know, those are stinking good. The Red Baron pizzas are actually really good.
Yeah, I like the brick oven ones.
Yeah, I also like what are some other frozen pizzas? What's the big one? DiGiorno.
DiGiorno's the one that has the crust deal that makes you look all special.
Yeah, all the different kinds of crust, and I really do like the croissant crust. If you've ever had that,
never seen that. They may not have that here in the
yeah, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, croissant crust. It's basically the whole pizza crust is made like a croissant. It's amazing. It's nice and flaky and fluffy. And oh man,
that sounds like awesome. It's right up my alley, Rick.
Yeah,
send me one.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm game. But yeah, there's Matt. What questions? You got any questions? You got any? What? Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what. I mean, what was going through your mind this week? Tell me. I'll catch me up, brother.
Well, I went to NFL.com at least 100 times. I ordered 3 different times and canceled 2 because my bank kept pulling at my pocket saying you can't really do that. And
right.
And now I'm getting Franklin Mint and other like companies that are ending up on my feed on Facebook.
Yep.
With Tom Brady special editions. And there's 4 different commemorative footballs. Franklin Mint's got one. NFL's got one. Fantastics or whatever it's called has got something. So you can't have them all. So I bought myself 2 hats, and that's safe for me. I'm one of those people that will not wear a T-shirt that has a date on it because I think it's been a long time.
Okay.
And I still got one from back in the original first Super Bowl. that
Nice.
I keep in my closet.
Nice.
And I'll put it on from time to time, and my kids are asking me what it spells. Because
why won't you? why like not without why without a date on it?
I don't know. It's something my mother was against. There was two things we didn't do. We didn't buy jerseys that had names on them.
Okay.
We didn't put names on them like Matt.
Not even your own?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just something she didn't think it was cool. She thought it made you look dorky. She was more apt to get like a Doug Williams version. See, I'm contradicting myself. She would get one with a player's name on it before she got one with her own name on it. Okay. Part of it had to do with the fact she was a cop and she didn't want the world to know who she was.
Okay. Other people, it's the reason I say that is that a lot of people, I think the dude is one of these people who will not put another person's name on their jersey.
Well, I'm the opposite. If they're real, then I may buy it. I have
right. I can understand either way of thinking. I think I kind of understand your thinking a little more than saying I'm not going to put a jersey on with somebody else's name when I'm like, who cares, man? You're saying I'm a fan of this person. I mean, I can understand. I
thought about
that,
getting a D. Williams 12 in the new uniform because I idolize. You're kind of like Pete Rose to you. Doug Williams, my guy.
Oh well, that's a good guy to idolize. So yeah.
So and I was up there with OJ, but he kind of fell off favor. Yeah.
Now, why is that? But yeah, I mean, there are so many reasons. There's so many things. I mean, I want to know what's going through your head on that Sunday as you watched the game. What were you thinking? What were you feeling?
I think I told you before the game that we're going to get our 30. It's just a question of whether Kansas City does or not.
Right.
And I also said before the game, it's not about the offense, about the defense. And I was in here all quiet, and then it started building up and building up and building up, and then the neighbors started getting loud. And
see, I never did. I never got loud, and I think when I picture watching the Super Bowl and the Buccaneers winning, I think about screaming and hollering and being excited and jumping up and down, and that's not how it was for me. It was silence. It was me sitting there trying to process what was happening the entire game. Just like they're really, I kept waiting for ways for it to go wrong or things to happen.
But there comes a point in the game where you realize that we're on top of the world and the clock is killing them.
Yeah. And that's when I just sat back shaking my head. That's when I was just sitting there shaking my head like this.
All we could have done to screw that up is to screw it up.
Yeah.
We would have with James.
Just sitting there thinking that the Buccaneers won another Super Bowl handily.
2-0.
Yeah, and neither game close. Both times against the top defense top offense in the league, and both times
shut them down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you know what? I guess the first time they didn't shut them down, but I mean, they just. I mean, there were how many picks, and there was how much. So, but they still scored. Yeah, they still scored. A decent amount of points in that game. This defense,
we scored with every player on the field. It seemed like. Derek Brooks got a couple.
But this time, their offense didn't even score a touchdown. I mean,
that goes to Todd Bowles. I got to give the man credit. He's a mad scientist because what they said on the NFL Network the next morning on Morning Joe or whatever it was.
Yeah,
he didn't blitz 30% of the time.
No,
he had some kind of statistic where he was known to be a heavy blitz package.
Yeah, it was the fewest blitzes. Yeah, it was it was the fewest blitzes that they had run all year in any game, and it was the most simple. It was the most base simple defense you can run, pretty much.
Yeah, they said they were running too high most of the game. Mark Schlereth said that they were running too high most of the game.
Yeah,
cover two, and the blitzes were coming from. Not a blitz, but they would go 3 in or 4 in.
Well, yeah, they'd rushed. Right. They were rushing. No, they were rushing 4, occasionally 5, but it was never the same 4 2 plays in a row. That it was always different combinations of people and different things happening.
Yeah, and I think you said after the game that Shaq Barrett. You kept looking up, and Shaq Barrett was chasing
Yeah, he's the guy he was chasing Mahomes every freaking play.
Like he stole his lunch money or something.
Yes,
right?
I mean, it was just the one guy that they just couldn't stop. I don't know what the deal was, but the one guy they couldn't stop the entire game. I mean, it didn't matter.
I think they had to concentrate too much on the center, with Sue and Vita Bay. And that left the edges open, which was the game plan. Everybody that understands a little bit about football could see that's what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But
were you paying for it this week at all? Like, I mean, how have you been feeling all week?
Well, I've been all right. I mean, the day after, I stayed up way too late on Super Bowl night. Yeah, I was amped up and couldn't fall asleep.
Oh yeah, there was no way I was sleeping. I barely slept at all.
Yeah, and I actually tried to get on the NFL thing in NFL.com and rewatch the game, but they want you to buy that game pass or whatever, so I couldn't do that. Yeah. I've never wanted to do that. I've never wanted to watch a game again.
Oh, I watched the Super Bowl again on NFL Network. Let me bring some more people in here. I want to add Teresa.
There she is.
Yeah, I want to add Teresa. I want to add Slick, and I want to add the professor.
I watched the Super Bowl again on NFL Network. Let me bring some more people.
Well, whose audio is playing? I'm hearing somebody's.
I want to add Slick
audio. Teresa, I'm hearing your audio feedback.
Let me work on that.
Okay, I'm going to take you out, and I'll come back to you. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so Johnny Dean, let's start with you, brother. What'd you have for dinner?
Chicken tenders, and I started to say chips just for Slick there, but fries.
Slick, what'd you have for dinner? Slick, what'd you have for dinner?
It's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and we don't really. There's not much open on the Sunday in England, so it's almost like a dead day. So we ordered Chinese. Okay. There's no restaurant to go to because it's locked down. So
you know today is Saturday, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably the only chance we get. It's the only chance we get without the kids, really. So
no, I know you had just said. Yeah, you were saying there's nothing open on Sunday, so I'm like,
Sunday being Valentine's Day.
Right?
No. Sunday.
So you did Valentine's Day today. Got it.
Right. So
now let's add Mike DeRoche in here. Let me add Mike in here. Mike, hey brother, hey man, what'd you have for dinner?
We had pizza from a local restaurant in Winnipeg for small businesses for COVID.
Okay. So we had a lot of pizza today in here.
Pepperoni.
Okay. All right. Apparently we had a lot of pizza in here today.
It's Saturday night, man.
Yeah, apparently that's the thing. But now, all right, I want to know from you guys, and let me just start. Let me start with you, Slick. Tell me your experience watching the game. What were you thinking and feeling during the game? What was your whole? What did that feel like that day, and then the next day?
Okay, so straight off the bat, they're going to score. They don't score no touchdowns, obviously. So they go and score a field goal, and I'm thinking, okay, well, that's not too bad because the last time we played them,
right.
I'll take it. I think we didn't go 3 and out. I think we went to the second round.
We did go 3 and out. We didn't go,
and we get the ball back and we start moving the ball. I'm like, okay, we look like we're doing something. It's a little bit of back and forth at first, and then you can see the defense has really done something. You can see that too high shell that they've got, which is kind of what everyone was expecting. I didn't see anything from the defense that I wasn't expecting. There was nothing changed except for the lack of blitzing, which when you go to a too high shell, you can't blitz as much. You've got to take somebody out of the line I think you guys said that they rotated 4 guys going in, maybe 5 at times. By doing that, they probably dropped somebody else. But the defense played exactly as I did. I just didn't realize it was going to be that dominating.
But what were you feeling?
That was the defense.
Right, but what were you thinking and feeling during the game? I mean, what was your what was the experience for you?
When were the Chiefs going to click?
That's what kept going in my head. That's exactly what was going in my head.
All of a sudden, and I blame Tony Romo because Tony Romo's going, it can happen at any time. They're like, and I just kept on saying to my wife, we ain't won shit yet. We ain't won shit yet. We ain't won shit yet. And that's pretty much the same thing I kept on saying. She had to calm me down. She's like, I know. And I'm like, we ain't won it yet. We ain't won nothing. And I'm looking at the scoreboard and I'm seeing 21-6, I think it was at halftime.
Right.
And I'm like,
right.
And then you start becoming a mathematician. And I'm like, And then I think we get the fourth quarter, and I'm like, I don't think they can win it, babe. I really don't think they can win this right now. And then incomplete pass, and then he makes all these beautiful passes, and they make the announcers are literally talking about how amazing these amazing throws are, but they're incomplete.
Right.
Jameis Winston used to throw those; they just went to somebody else.
Right.
Jameis Winston was always throwing balls while he was falling. I mean, maybe not as graceful as looking as Patrick Mahomes. It looked a little bit worse, but you know what I'm saying. It was quite funny to see a guy go down on the deck, throw a ball, and everyone go, "Wow!" And you're like,
everybody had to be amazed. I think everybody. I don't care if you're.
And everyone's like, "Wow, look at the skill!" And I went, when Jameis Winston used to do that, everyone used to say, "What an idiot!"
The City fan, I think you sat there. I think you sat there shaking your head, going, "This guy is something." I mean, you guys. We saw, even though they got their butt kicked, we saw something special from Pat Mahomes. He is the only guy who showed up for Kansas City.
I think it was about 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, you could just see hope leave his eyes. There was a point where it was used on his face, and he just looked like, my wife, he looked broken.
Mike, I want to know from you, brother. Mike, I want to know your experience. I want to know what you thought. I want to know what you were feeling during the game, after the game, and when did it really sink in?
Okay, an hour before kickoff, I was just a total nervous wreck.
Right, so was I.
I didn't want my phone turned on. I didn't want no one calling me, texting me, making small talk. Just leave me alone. I watched the game. I saw Brady struggle in the first two series. It didn't look they were like playing that well.
Right.
And then they got together in the first part of the first quarter, and then the defense played the way I thought they would. And then it was just.
But what were you feeling? What were you feeling during it?
It was just incredible to watch like whether they're playing the whole game, like touchdown.
When did it hit you? When do you think it hit you, or has it hit you?
It hit me the night before. The night I went to bed. When I woke up the next morning, I go, "We're Super Bowl champions!" It wasn't a dream.
Yeah.
And then I went to work the next morning, and all the guys who were Packer fans and Cowboy fans, they wouldn't come near me. But if they would have lost the game, they would have been all over me. So
I gotta tell you. Well, let me get to Johnny here real quick. Johnny, when you were watching the game, what were you thinking and feeling? When did it hit you? You know, I mean, what were you feeling during the game? I guess I'm really wanting to drive into that. Not Johnny.
I'm here. I was just letting you finish your.
Yep.
I see. I'm not like you guys. Matt was in the game thread, right?
Right.
All of our emotions were on that thread. So I went back the other day and was reading through the thread, and I don't think anybody thought we were going to lose that game.
Well, nobody that was talking.
I don't know about that.
Well, Matt was pretty confident. I was confident. It was a thrill watching those plays, man, and rewinding and watching it over again the other day.
I just kept watching the game. I kept sitting there thinking, when is this? When
real?
Right. When's the bad stuff going to start?
I never got that feeling. I never felt like the other foot was going to drop.
Well, I didn't feel like it was going to go bad, like they were going to lose, but I felt like there's no way you're holding Patrick Mahomes to no touchdowns. That's just not even something you can consider. I was sitting there the whole time just sort of braced, ready for a quick hitting one or two touchdowns on, in a matter of seconds. Bam.
We were talking about that in Johnny's thread that he had, that it got to a point where I even put in there, we cannot give them a touchdown now. That's our thing. We're going to keep them out of the end zone completely. And people were getting all over that. They were all behind it. Nobody I think the only time that anybody was concerned was in the first half. The second half was just, we got crazy about it.
I don't think I ever got concerned. I was in disbelief, but I never felt concerned, but I felt disbelief.
I thought earlier on, Kelsey.
What's that? What, Mike? What were you saying?
I thought earlier in the game, Kelsey had a bit of the yips. Like he wasn't his normal self. He had a few drop passes. Kelsey.
Yeah, he was getting harassed pretty hard.
Well, I don't think they were prepared for us at all. They said that they prepared for the same team that they played before, which was ignorant.
Yeah,
they didn't.
I get the feeling that they felt like they were going to just kind of walk in and win. I mean, I feel like they almost felt entitled. Well, I mean, I think they felt entitled. I think they felt like we're better than everybody else, which can be good, but they also
the hype, Rick.
But the work, and this, guys, this is what's different about Tom Brady. Let me tell you something. If there's anybody who has the right to feel that way, it's Brady. But instead, he goes in with this hell-bent drive towards excellence.
Man,
and you saw it before the game. Before the game, you saw when he was yelling, when he was going down like walking down the sideline, yelling, "Let's go!"
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
I got excited seeing that.
So did I. I mean, that's awesome. That guy wanted to win. Let's bring Teresa in here. Let's see if we've got the audio thing worked out. Teresa, how you doing?
Hey, do I have the audio thing worked out?
Yep, we're perfect. We're
perfect. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Teresa, what'd you have for dinner?
Chick-fil-A, chicken tortilla soup.
Okay. So then tell me this. What were you thinking and feeling during the game, and when did it sink in?
It sunk in about 4 minutes left in the game. And
all I kept 4 minutes ago.
No. All I kept thinking was going back to that Monday night game against Indianapolis.
Oh,
so I never ever say never.
That's a bad memory. Yeah,
that was a real bad memory. But once I realized it, my daughter's going, "Well, why are you so happy and why are tears coming out?" I'm like, you just don't understand.
Well, and with me, I just sat there. I guess the best way I can describe it is I just sat there, kind of slouched back in my couch, sinking into my couch with my jaw down, just like this freaking worked. This freaking worked. This whole freaking experiment, this whole thing, this whole, taking into account all the way back to the beginning of the year. My very first show. The very first show I did for Bucks Report, the very first time I got behind a microphone was on the day of cuts. Was on the first day of major cuts. And just walking through everything that happened from that point till now, and the process of every game, everything that's happened, as we've led through step by step by step, I just sat back in the couch, slumped back in the couch, trying to just take it all in, that this grand experiment, this huge leap. I don't know if you remember when Tom Brady wrote the article for, what's it called? The Players Almanac or whatever the heck it's called. Players Journal, Players whatever. He wrote this long article about, how he left New England and had come to play for the Bucks and why. And I flashed back to that. And so much of there was just so much to be processing and thinking through, and how in 1 year everything that's happened, and going from, we may not have a season, to, I lived in Atlanta. I remember the new uniforms coming out. I remember there's so many steps in the process of what happened. And to sit there and think at any one of these, any play, how many plays are there? Anybody could have gotten hurt that could have ended the season. There's so many things that could have gone wrong. Everything went right. Everything. I don't believe that Tom Brady expected to win the Super Bowl this year. I think he expected to win it next year.
Mm-hmm. But once he got there, he thought he was going to
win. Oh, yeah. Once they got in the playoffs, all bets were off.
I thought Todd Bowles called a hell of a game.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was the MVP. I mean, there aren't two ways around that. He was just stinking amazing. What Todd Bowles did was phenomenal. And everybody, anybody who says, well, Brady only threw for this many yards, he didn't have to throw for more yards. At that point, yeah, when you're playing like that, at that point, you're just going, okay, I'm just not going to let y'all win.
Cruise control, mid-quarter 3. We're in cruise control. Just hand the ball off, hand the ball off, make a play. Hand the ball off. It was beautiful.
Nobody scored in the fourth quarter. Halfway through the third quarter, basically all scoring ended because the Bucs were just milking the clock, and Kansas City couldn't do anything. If they did drive down there, they had to go for a touchdown on fourth down, so that was ending what they were capable of doing. So it just became this. Everything Kansas City did was doubling back on itself because they were so far behind. You can't catch up.
One of the times that towards the end of the game where Mahomes got sacked by 3 guys, and they showed it in slow motion. And he's getting sandwiched. Bang! He's all
that's the one where Sue just destroyed him.
And the look on his face was so much pain. It was like
I think that's when it ended in his head. I think that's the play. I think that's the play that Slick was talking about. I think that's when he just saw it's done. Yeah,
he's finished.
We're not gonna win this because
the best thing Troy Aikman could say was he was horizontal to the ground when he threw the ball away.
Was it Aikman or Romo? Romo. And let me say,
these Cowboy
I understand. Well, I understand why they kept saying the things they were saying about Mahomes, because what Mahomes did was championship caliber. Nobody else played to that level.
Well, and I think our secondary was just beat. It seemed like they had 3 guys around every eligible receiver.
Well, they did because they only rushed 4. And that's what was so amazing. And Johnny Dean is correct. Johnny said way back earlier in the year about how, it's kind of Johnny. It's funny. We said 2 opposite things and we were both right in some respects, where you said how Vita Vea was so important to this defense. And you're right in what happened at the end of the year, his presence brought everything to another level, but this defense did just fine without him. But you add him into it,
that's a lot of man.
Crap, that's a lot of man. You're right. And I think Johnny had it right when he talked about how important he is to this defense as far as it takes it to some sort of next level. Guys, I said earlier in the year that this defense has the potential to be better than the Super Bowl, the 2002 team defense. And everybody thought I was nuts. But let me tell you something, guys. What they did in this game, I don't know which. You remember how awesome that first Super Bowl, how awesome the defense was?
Yeah.
What they did this time? No, they didn't get the splash plays and the flashy turnovers and touchdowns. But what they did in this game was more impressive, I think, than what they did in the last game.
They didn't let the most prolific offense in the league get into double digits.
No.
They just shut down. They had nothing going.
They embarrassed the Chiefs. They made, and everybody who says, and Johnny, again, I'm going to give you credit, Johnny. Everybody who said, I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, the Bucs just gave the roadmap to how to beat the Chiefs," and Johnny said it correctly. No, they did not. Oakland gave that roadmap. The Bucs followed it, played it. They did it better than Las Vegas. Sorry, did it better than the Raiders. But the Raiders gave the roadmap. So thank you, John Gruden, for yet another Super Bowl. Because you showed on defense what the Buccaneers can do, ironically, of all things. Now, I will tell you guys what I did the next morning at work, and it's a very, very fun memory for me. Every morning at 9:30 at work, there's a meeting of everyone that's at the of at work, everybody at work that day. It's before the place opens. So everybody is sitting around and the management is addressing all of the employees and you're supposed to be there by 9:30. Well, at 9:30, I did not show up at work like I was supposed to. 9:35, I bust in the door. Now I'm dressed in a hat, like an old school rapper hat, mirrored sunglasses, gold chains, a club, like a shirt you'll wear out clubbing, unbuttoned, halfway down. And I just come walking in, and my cell phone, I'm playing "We Are the Champions," and I just walked right into the middle of the whole circle of everybody. I walked in, and everybody's laughing. You're hearing what the heck, and you're hearing people giggling, and you're hearing all of this, all this go on. And I just said, I basically pulled a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Patrick. I just said, I want you all to know I am going to remain the same humble Bucks fan I have been from. And I walked over to a chair and plopped down, slouched down, slid my hat down, and just sat there. And everybody was cracking up, and it was a good moment. It was a very good moment. On? What's that?
Did you have the beads on?
No, I had a gold chain around me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, big thick gold chain wrapped around twice. It was a lot of fun.
Are you still employed?
I am still employed. No, they all loved it. They were talking about it the next day even.
I think I saw a picture of you on the web somewhere in that outfit.
No, I think you saw me when I went live or when I went on Peter's show after the game, and I had my feet kicked up on the desk. I had my feet kicked up with
the John McKay hat on.
Yeah, my John McKay hat, and mirrored sunglasses, and slippers and beads, and
Cat killed it.
Hats?
Yeah.
Can you buy those hats?
Can what?
You can buy them.
Can you buy what? The hat? Oh, I'm sure you can. I got the hat at a game. It was a giveaway. The day that John McKay was inducted into the Ring of Honor, I was at the game, and they gave them away.
I had that same hat, Rick, and I ended up buying some chinchillas up here. And I left the hat too close to the cage, and they got it and chewed it all up, man.
Who did I just lose?
I was so angry.
I just lost Mike. No, I didn't. Mike?
No,
Matt.
There.
I lost Matt. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Matt.
Chinchilla is a rabbit, right?
No, it's like a rodent. It's from South America.
It's its own thing. Chinchilla is its own thing.
Rodent.
Yeah. Sure. But is there anybody who feels like when you look forward to next year? Now let's look at each of the teams. Okay. Let's all take a look at well, you know what? First, here's what I'm going to do. First of all, let me go to commercial break. And when we come back, let's start talking about the other teams in the NFC South. All right.
Who cares? Sorry.
Simmer down, Sparky. We'll be back in a minute. All right, guys. Welcome back. Let's do this. Let's add, first of all, Harry the Greek to this little soiree. How you doing, brother? What'd you have for dinner?
What did I eat for dinner? It wasn't anything Greek, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Today, the Greek had Mexican food.
Okay.
I ate, there was a place called La Teresita's.
Oh, if you had La Teresita, you win.
And we had, I had a couple of tamales, one with the green sauce, one with the red sauce. And I had some extraordinary chips and salsa with some guacamole. And that was really about it. How's everybody doing? And how is everybody after this Super Bowl hangover?
How do you think we're doing?
Well, I don't know. Everybody's depressed because football's over with now. What's going on?
Nobody's depressed. We're all happy.
I got to ask you, Harry.
Yes, sir.
Did you have a shaving accident or something, man?
No, hold on. I just realized I still have my, my whatchamacallit here. I'm wearing this for Mike DeRoche. Makes him feel at home. Hold on, guys.
Let's make this whole thing a party. Hold on.
Okay, Father Harry.
Steve, how you doing, brother?
Steven.
Just a little better, guys. You like this as the bandana? There we go.
Steve Tasker, how you doing?
Look.
Steve Glasker.
Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on? How you guys doing?
What'd you have for dinner?
How does it feel? Oh man, I had fajitas.
No, what'd you have for dinner?
It was awesome.
What was it?
Fajitas.
Oh, I have fajitas. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Fajitas.
Very
Can you
good.
hear me okay?
Yeah, now I can. Yes.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Hey,
very good.
We need one more and we can do the Brady Bunch thing.
I was just going to say that.
we lost somebody. I don't know who we lost.
Here's the story.
I think we lost Matt again. Yeah, it's hard to keep everybody.
Well, here's the story.
Yeah.
About a lovely lady.
Oh, Harry should y'all.
Hi, Teresa. How are you, my dear?
Should we leave you two alone?
Hi, Harry.
Put us in a room alone there. There you go, Rick.
Okay, so Harry.
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys.
Well, first of all, let me ask Steven this. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm asking a real quick question of you. How does it feel to be Super Bowl champions, baby?
Euphoric.
How does it feel?
Yeah, euphoric. I want to know, Steven. That's what I've been asking everybody tonight. What were you feeling during the game? When did it hit you, or has it hit you yet?
I'll be honest. It hit me during the game. It hit me literally late in the third quarter. I said, "Oh, there's no way they're coming back from this." I said, "There's no way they're not coming back from this." When I saw how essentially easily we were pushing the ball down the field,
right,
on our end, and how much trouble they were having in KC, I said, "Oh, we got this." I didn't know what the final score would be, but I knew we were going to win, and that's when it started to feel really good.
Okay,
I tell you what, though, you guys do. I mean, you talk about boat parties. You had the parade and everybody was talking about that boat party.
Well, and Brady, God bless him. I mean, good for him. You know, I mean, I've never felt better for the guy. I think that was the most endearing moment of his entire career. Was Ryan Griffin holding him up?
What, being so hammered he couldn't even walk? I was laughing hysterically, brother. That was awesome, dude.
That's the point.
It didn't make him one of us, man. Except for he was actually
what the hell would have happened if the Lombardi Trophy would have ended up in the drink?
You know who would have gone after it? Gronk would have been in the water so fast.
What are you?
They had a recovery team out there real quick after that.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, man. Sean Murphy Button would have caught it first.
Yeah.
Somebody invented one last year, didn't they?
What's that?
Tell you.
I read that somebody used the Lombardi as a bat and dented it last year.
Yeah,
Gronk, it wasn't last year, but yeah, he was swinging it like a bat. Somebody threw something and he swung it like a bat, and it I forgot if he let it go or hit something. I don't know, but it dented one.
Pitch, Chicago, Boston Red Sox. He bunted it with the Lombardi.
Yeah,
got a dent in it.
Yeah,
really.
But
right.
Yeah. So what? Okay, for those of you who here has ever been to It's not One Buck Place. What's it called? The Advent Health Center. Who's been there before? To the offices? Anybody?
Well, I've been to head office. Yeah.
Okay. You've seen the statues and the whole scene that they have?
Yeah, all the helmets and that.
Yeah. No, not the helmets. I'm talking the Gruden, Brooks.
I've seen exactly like when they've shown it.
The scene from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've been there. You caught me with that Advent Health Center.
Yeah, I know. It's $1. It's still $1 to me. But the thing is, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Because now there's 2 Super Bowls that they have to figure out how to commemorate. I mean,
add on. They got a few bucks.
Yeah, they got $1 or $2. Yeah. But I mean, okay, I get it. They don't need to. I mean, that's
someone
the first
say
one.
Bet. Did someone say bet? No.
That's the first one that they can. That's the first one. Leave it special. But what are they going to be able to do? What's going to make it this much more special? I mean, or what are they going to do to make that, to add that to there? Because, guys, this is. I don't know about you, but to me, this was a whole different kind of a thing. I mean, this Super Bowl, it's a whole different feel. It's a whole different everything. When you look at those trophies, now I'm going to say this. When you look at the trophies, I mean, when you look at the first trophy and when you look at those statues, think of who it is. Now, everybody who says, well, that was all people that got drafted by the Bucs. No, it was not. Okay, Mike Pittman, Joe Juravicius, Keenan McCardell, Brad Johnson, those were all free agents that came in.
Sheldon Quarles?
Yeah, those were all free agents that came in.
Yep.
So everybody do, I find it funny.
Are we doing the comparison, the 02 to the 20?
No, we're not doing a comparison. What we're doing is
he's basically saying that it does. He's basically saying Brady's going to have a huge ass statue out there.
Well, yeah.
Oh, he should.
Yes, and he deserves that. And I don't think he thought he would win it this year. I think his plan in his head was to come here. It would take a couple of years, and I think that's what he was thinking.
Yeah, I think that would be a realistic plan.
And I think in his head it's like, holy crap. I bet you he's thinking, holy crap, we just won the Super Bowl.
Rick, I'm going to put you over the top on this one. I'm going to tell you when Tom Brady knew he was going to win this. It was in the second quarter of that first Atlanta game. Okay? In the third quarter in that second Atlanta game when that light switch turned on. Let's go back and talk about 7-8 weeks ago when you turned around. I wish you had that footage of after that game. You said something happened to this team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's when that team started not only playing its offense, they were getting out of the gates a lot quicker, but their defense was just really starting to come together. They were still a little sporadic with some of their cover 2 zones that they were playing from back then. But I'll tell you what, when those playoffs hit, it was a different gear. They had to get by that Washington team. And by the way, that was the scariest game of the entire playoffs.
It was the scariest game.
Let me go ahead and talk. Let me go ahead and throw some props on Harry's back here real quick. Okay. And Johnny Dean the same way, because that was the scariest game of the entire playoffs. Because when New Orleans rolled around, see you later, in Green Bay.
Well, I was talking to at halftime of the first Atlanta game. I was talking to, I don't remember, it was by Facebook chat. It was either Matt or Mike. It was one of the two of you guys. I was talking to you at halftime and was saying, well, we've got this game. And why am I not? We're down by like 21. And I can't believe, I feel like we're up by 21. I'm that confident. We've got this game. And one of you guys was saying the same thing. I don't remember if it was Mike or Matt.
It's not over.
It could have been me, Rick. At that point, I was like, "Oh God."
Okay, so it was Mike. Mike and I were talking at halftime of that game, and we both were like, "Something's." I don't know how to explain it. I saw it in that game where it was like, "This is not what we've seen previously. Something's different right now."
Well, Brady knew that he could come back on Atlanta. He had experience.
I won a boatload of money in that second half in that game.
Yeah. I think the Chargers game was a turnaround for me.
Well, for me, I think I'm saying I don't think Brady realized they were going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think it hit him until probably, I think when they got through Washington, and it was probably, now this is all guessing. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I think when they were halfway through the Saints game, and I think he was like, guys, we can do this. I think he was focused on always doing his best, and that's all that he does is focus on doing his best. But I think it started to sink in. Holy crap.
I think he began to see the defense gelling up right at the right time.
Yeah.
Because he was getting his stuff together.
Yeah, in that Saints game, I mean, when everything was different in that game, everything was different. You had to feel that way. You had to, and that's why I sat there during the Super Bowl and just slumped over in my chair, just thinking, this whole journey freaking happened. Because I don't know that everybody is able to take stock necessarily of everything that happened and the magic. Just how special this year is and the whole totality of, if you could actually go back to 12 months ago today, right now, if we could go back there and feel the things we felt 1 year ago today.
1 year ago today, we were saying Winston ain't worth $30 million.
We were, but I mean, there was that whole discussion. There was the exasperation, the tired of talking about it. There was the sort of anger, but that some of us felt at his final press conference. We didn't know it was his final one at the time. There were so many different things that we were thinking and feeling, and so many things that were happening at that point that, it was what has happened over the last year was truly unforeseeable.
It's the Brady effect.
Well, it's the Brady effect. But did we honestly think we were getting Brady at that point? Heck no. Now I know some people made a comment here or there saying, I think they're going to get Brady. But I don't care who said that. I don't care how much you look me in the eye and tell me you knew it. No, you did not. Okay? You might have hoped. You might have thought, I think it might happen. But there's no way you can say you knew it was going to happen. And the fact that not only did it happen, but he stayed healthy all year. He had his best year in years. And Gronk came, and Fournette came, and AB came.
Rick, how could you not know that Brady was going to come here? He was obviously looking for another team to win a championship with. This team was already loaded with players, and the wide receivers, which he's been looking for, were sitting right here. And when Winston left, you had to know he was coming.
You can still sit there and say, I think it's going to happen. I think we might get Brady. But there's no way you can look at any player on any team and say, I know he's going to come to my team, let alone the GOAT in New England. Okay? You can't sit there and say, I know.
He might have went somewhere else, but it was so far. He
almost did.
It was so far. What, to the Saints with $112 million over the cap?
No, he almost didn't. He almost go to the Rams, I believe it was.
Is that Teresa eating Chick-fil-A?
Oh,
yes.
Are you serious? Where's my Teresa?
Teresa made a comment that I love.
Go back. Hold on. Go back. Wait. Go back to where we were. Now listen. There's no way. There's no way that you can sit there and say that you knew. You can never say, 2 months prior, I know where that guy's going to go. You can think he's probably going to go somewhere. Right now, people are going, I think he's going to go I think J.J. Watt's coming to Tampa, or I think J.J. Watt's going to Pittsburgh. I think, there's all this
Tennessee.
conjecture, but you can't say, I know he's going somewhere. And especially when you're Tom Brady in New England.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with Rick.
We say that about everybody.
Yeah.
If there's a person out there even looks like they want to leave, we're going to get them.
Yeah. Or they're going to say, or they say, we need to get them. And let me tell you something. I'm so sick of hearing every time there's a famous or a semi-remotely well-known name that maybe you've heard of the guy. Everybody goes, we got to get him. And I get tired of what's that?
Adrian Peterson, J.J. Watt.
Now listen.
Stop.
Here's the thing about Adrian Peterson. Okay.
Oh,
now hold on. 4 yards. Everybody, hush, or I'm going to knock y'all out of the lobby for a second. Okay. Now listen. Okay. Here's the thing.
Don't do it to me, Rick. Please.
Now listen. Here's the thing. That Adrian Peterson averaged 4 yards per carry. is Adrian Peterson a great option? Like, boy, we want Adrian Peterson. Listen, you're not going to have Shady McCoy next year. You're probably not going to have Leonard Fournette next year. Okay?
Why do you say that?
Because there's only so much you can bring back. It's the same thing New England's been doing for years. Okay? And Fournette wants to get paid. He's already said it. Okay? So the thing is, you have to look at it and you go, all right, let's say they lose Fournette. Is Adrian Peterson replacing Shady McCoy or Fournette, and then you get somebody else in the mix there? Whether it's whether you start to let Vaughn get more carries and work in that, I don't think that's an unreasonable thing. If the guy says I want to come, if he's willing to come on a veteran minimum, hell yeah, I'll take a guy who averaged 4 yards of carry last year.
Adrian Peterson doesn't want the minimum. The guy's in debt to his ears, man. He got sued in Minnesota for something he left back there back when the Viking days, and the judge said, you're going to pay the man, and it's millions. It's not a couple thousand. It's millions. So he needs to stay on the roster because he's as broke as I am.
Well, he's a free agent right now. He's going somewhere. I don't know about being as broke as you are, but
Dude, I'm telling
you keep losing your internet, Matt. I'm not so sure about that.
Hey, Oklahoma.
What's that?
He lives in Oklahoma.
Yes, he does.
Right. I mean, but listen, I just think if we look over the entire year and try to take the totality of everything that happened from 12 months ago to now, it's hard to grasp all of the steps in the chain of events that happened. It's easy when you look back and go, oh, yeah, I mean, I thought Brady was coming. Okay. But then he did. Okay. And then Gronk came. And then Fournette came. And then AB came. Now, I was one of the few people who wasn't saying, no, we don't want AB. No, we don't want AB. I was one of the few people going, well.
I wasn't. I was one of those guys that were saying that there's no way AB's going to be on this team because of
right, and I was saying, the one thing I kept saying is
he was in jail at this time.
If there's a way, right. But when the conversation was coming up, he was only in jail like briefly, like overnight or something. But the thing is, there was I remember the discussion on Peter's show, and Peter was like, "No way, no way, no way," and I was going, here's the thing: if you can get this guy in the veteran minimum, and he was like, "It'll destroy the locker room." I'm thinking, really? Is this locker room that fragile? I just don't think it is after you've added Brady, after you've added Fournette, after you've added I mean, Fournette scared me more than AB did because AB is easily dismissed because of his past transgressions. You can almost just go, yeah, well, that guy's an idiot.
I thought AB was well behaved.
He was fantastic this year.
He had one camera incident, big deal. We'll give him a pass on it, right?
He threw a lawn chair, so what?
Hey guys, I can verify that what Rick is saying is absolutely true. But before I do, I just want to say this really quickly. It's so cool. Rick, I love your show, but it's so cool to be on here with Harry. It's so cool. Love you, Harry.
Wow.
I love your take.
What about
I don't even have my camera set up. I really wanted to get on to say hello to everybody. I've been trying to relax. I haven't been feeling all that well. I've been working myself to death. Appreciate the compliment, Steve. Rick, I appreciate you getting me on. Teresa, as usual, my darling, you're the greatest. And Johnny Dean, I got nothing but love for you. You too, Matt Coast and Slick. I don't know you, but have a great evening, guys.
Oh, here. Look what you did, Steven. You scared Harry away, Steven.
No one scared me away, seriously. But I do want to give one parting gift, though.
What's that?
Everybody can talk about Tom Brady in this offense. That helped him get to the Super Bowl. What won that Super Bowl was that damn defense, and don't forget it.
Of course.
That's all I'm going to say right there. That defense is what put a lot of dollars in my pocket and a lot of people across this country.
Sure.
Because that game was the easiest money line in the Super Bowl that I've seen in the past 25 years, period.
No love to the Canadian?
Huh?
You said, Johnny, everybody good night. We love you. What about Mike?
Oh, I'm sorry. I saved the best for last for you, but here, watch. Want me to give you a big kiss? to my Canadian friend, you were that guy in the middle. Well, we know about that guy in the middle. Someone please tell him about the circle with the guy in the middle.
Oh,
we're not having no Beatles reunion here.
Oh my!
My brother, seriously, guys, got to go. Can't
Have
wait.
a good one, Harry.
Feel better.
Rick, I'll probably give you a call after the show. I'd like to speak to you, but everybody else, please stay safe. We'll talk to you later. And Mike DeRoche, I did mean it accidentally though, but we'll see you, my brother.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
That was funny.
Hey, Rick.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Stephen.
I apologize. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Rick, I can verify as somebody who's followed Brady closely for years. You're absolutely right. Nobody knew he was coming here. That's just a fact. Because initially, I don't know if you guys remember, initially the deal was we were hearing when, there was all kinds of turmoil in New England. There was still the whole, he'll be back. But once the news leaked out that it didn't look like it was going to happen, the next thing was, it looks like he may be going to San Francisco.
The Chargers.
Initially it was the 49ers.
Right.
So the 49ers were seriously considering bringing him on and trading Jimmy G back.
Right.
Because that's where he wanted to go. Exactly. He was a Niners fan as a kid. So then when that didn't go through, they decided to stick with Jimmy G. Then it became, it looks like the Chargers are going to be the team he's going to. And so it wasn't until it happened that because I guarantee, because even the media was like Tampa, the media was thinking that, and I feel for you guys because I know around, like you said, around the same time last year, you guys are probably thinking, I cannot believe our quarterback went 30 for 30. I'm sure that's what was going on.
Right. It was just, it was hard to. Again, we were sitting there a year ago. We were having a hard time processing a completely different thing. We're having a hard time processing. Winston did some amazing things and some monumentally horrific things. So, I mean, what do I do with this information? Because, last year's offense was the best offense this organization had ever seen. It was also what cost them many, many games. Now, this year was an even better offense. But, it didn't have as many yards as last year, but it scored more, and it was far more productive. So,
it was far easier to watch this year.
Oh yeah, let's bring in Big Randy. Hold on, we got somebody named Big Randy.
Hey, it's Randy.
Hey, Randy, how you doing?
Hello, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
Randy, what'd you have for dinner?
I had spaghetti tonight. It was delicious.
Excellent. Randy, so tell me, what were you thinking or feeling during the game on Sunday?
It almost just didn't feel real. I always thought the Chiefs were going to start getting it clicking at any moment and that they might get it more close. But when the fourth quarter came and then they had that turnover and downs early in the fourth quarter, started doing the math. I thought there was no way that they could come back from this without our offense is playing.
Yeah. How long have you been a Bucs fan?
About 5 or 6 years. I was a fan. I'm from Chicago, and I was a fan when Lovey came to the Buccaneers.
Okay.
And because I was always a fan of Lovey. And they also had Josh McCown at the time, and I also thought that he was a pretty cool quarterback. I thought he was good quarterback.
Okay, now do you live in Tampa or do you live in Chicago or somewhere else? Chicago, okay. Well, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I think you guys do a great job.
Awesome, I appreciate that. Well, you know what we're going to do right now, guys? I'm going to start our segment that we do here from time to time called The Meme Grinder. It's a very short one tonight, but let's break open the... All right, so what this segment is and it's going to be an abbreviated version. This is a segment where I bring on some different memes that have come out since, usually since the last show. That are they may be funny, they may be serious and poignant, they could be anything. But they're memes that things that I've seen that I really enjoyed or really liked. Usually on Facebook, sometimes Twitter. So let's start here. Even when Winston gets escorted out of or when Winston gets escorted out of Red Lobster. All right, let's go to the next one. Your quarterback's had 10 touchdown passes all season. I had 10 in the playoffs. All right, now let's go on. All right. 1 year ago, Tom Brady was a free agent. Some people thought would retire. Leonard Fournette was cut by the Jags. Antonio Brown was in jail, and Gronk was a WWE wrestler. They all scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Now, I love this the next two go hand in hand. They go together, and I love these. These are probably my favorites. I cannot begin to tell you how much I love these.
Oh my God.
That's a lovely quiz.
What happened there?
Patrick Mahomes never had a chance. Look at, if you go back and look, there it is. There's Shaq Barrett.
Real?
Yes, there's Shaq Barrett breaking through the offensive line. The two guys connected, and Shaq Barrett running free towards the quarterback, towards Mahomes.
Is that real? That was happening game where they started tackling each other?
Yes, they started blocking each other.
No
well,
way.
they needed to successfully block somebody. So.
I remember that play. That's when Sue had those guys. Sue did that. Sue had them turned around, man.
Yeah, he did. Went by him.
I love that. Okay,
and
next.
they're holding each other.
Yeah, next. They said it couldn't be done. They said he was washed. Too old, too weak of an arm. No way he was going to do it in the NFC. Congratulations to Blaine Gabbert on winning a Super Bowl.
Oh, where's Ray Kennedy?
He's going to be our number one.
I actually love this. This did not age well, guys. This did not age well. Tom Brady left the AFC because he knows he can no longer beat Mahomes to advance to the Super Bowl. Change my mind. He did. He did. He changed your mind, buddy. And I love this. You have to look close. On the screen there, on the monitor, it says Grink visits Disney World. And my favorite thing is if you look below it, look at the comment by Expel Ted Cruz from the Atmosphere. Look at, he stole Christmas. The Grink stole Christmas. I thought that was great. Okay, so that is this week's version of the Meme Grinder. All right, tomorrow night.
Winston one was the best.
Yeah, that was
the first one.
What, the Winston one, the first one? You like that one the best?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I like them blocking each other.
When Winston gets escorted out of Red Lobster.
I think the blocking is the best one.
I like the blocking one, yeah.
Yeah, the blocking one is my favorite. I mean, that just looking at that and going,
Real life.
yeah, gee, how? Yeah, right. It was the refs that caused you to lose.
There's a dance going on in a football game.
Yeah. There's
I like the one.
Don't ask, don't tell. Streaker. Yeah, don't ask, don't tell. But I mean, the thing is that they blamed it on the refs.
He was running backwards as soon as he caught the ball.
Yeah, it was amazing.
He was going 30 yards backwards when he got that hike.
Yeah,
that play, I think
it was hilarious. I mean, that whole game was just. I mean, it wasn't close. It just wasn't close. I mean,
it felt fun when it got down to the middle of the third quarter when you realized that they just couldn't do it, and then it was like, let's just go blow some stuff up.
Well, when they started having to score touchdowns instead of, when they drive in, to like, let's say the 20, and they had to go for it on fourth down, I knew at that point, as soon as they had to go for it on fourth, when they had to go for it on fourth, I was like, holy crap, we won the game. When they stopped that first time that they had to go for it on fourth and they stopped them, it hit somebody in the face mask.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing is right at the beginning of the third quarter, Travis Kelce slipped on a play. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Oh, yeah, and Levante David caught up to him and knocked it down.
Yeah, but the fact that he slipped all of a sudden it was like it's not happening for them today.
No,
it's just not happening. I mean, every break, everything. That's what I think was so different about this year. And I've brought this up multiple times this year. Even the lucky breaks, even the way the ball bounced this year. I mean, nobody was opting out for the Buccaneers. I mean, there were when they went to play, I don't know how many different teams that team had, like the offensive line was out for COVID or couldn't practice that whole week, or there were different things that kept happening that were happening in the Buccaneers' favor.
So the movie's even things called Angels in the Backfield, right?
There you go. There you go. I mean, it certainly is. I mean, it's all about the GOAT. I can tell you that. I mean, there's got to be a movie about Brady's life. There will
be if he wins again.
Well, there is. They're making one right now.
Well, they're making not a movie. They're making a documentary. I know, like a Jordan thing. But
that's a movie to me.
No, but I'm saying there's got to be a movie. Movie.
Who plays Brady in Hollywood?
Who's the guy that played? Yeah, I actually have an answer to that. The guy that played
Kristen.
No, hold on. Who is the? Oh my God! Like Han Solo in the movie Solo or Han Solo, whatever it's called.
Solo the movie.
Yeah. That guy should play Brady.
That would work.
Yeah, they look very similar. When I was watching that movie, I kept feeling like I was watching Tom Brady play Han Solo.
But it was
creeping me out, to be honest with you.
Years old. Brady's 18 years older than he is.
Well, I understand, but you can.
It's Hollywood, man.
The movie is not just about this year. The movie would be about Brady. I mean, and I mean, holy cow, man!
Who's gonna be rookie Brady?
It could be the same guy. I mean,
it's got to be.
Brady looks younger than Mahomes does.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Brady looks better now than he did when he was drafted.
Yeah, that was a meme that we put up.
Yeah, of him, he was all fat-faced and round.
Yeah.
So now he's just trim,
chiseled. He looks younger than he did before. He's got Benjamin Button disease. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how he. I'm starting to think that there's like some like Illuminati thing going on because he's Matt. I'm joking. I want to be clear. Hold on,
Matt, you have started that conspiracy now, Rick.
Matt, I'm joking. I want to be clear, Matt. I'm joking.
On Illuminati stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't
I'm getting started, Rick.
I know. I've opened.
I don't agree with Stephen A. Smith very much, but he said something that I thought was right on point. You know, you got earlier talking about AB and Gronk and Fournette coming, how Brady had his hand in all that. And he said, it turns out Brady's a better GM than Belichick.
No joke. I mean, think about it. Who has New England drafted? I mean, think about how many drafts, because you know how they always have a ton of draft picks?
But
New England always has a ton of draft picks because they trade down a lot. Right. Okay? So
later you got to have some cream.
Where are they? Where are all of those draft picks?
I think they're still on the roster for the most part, but they're not starters.
They're not.
I mean,
there's no
defensive plays.
Who's the last superstar they drafted? Is it Brady?
I think so.
They're always going after defensive.
Gronk was the last.
They're always going after those defensive guys.
Aaron Hernandez too.
Aaron Hernandez, Gronk, Aaron Hernandez. That's two good ones.
Right.
Okay,
those
I just named three. Right, I just named three: Brady, Gronk, and Hernandez over the last 20 years. No, I can name three this year from the Bucs.
The guy on the NFL Network, man, what's his name? That's got a gold jacket from
Brewski?
Warner.
No, not Brewski. The other guy. He was a defensive end.
Didn't Brewski come from somewhere else first?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, no.
He was a Patriot.
Bruce was drafted by New England. So it was Willie McGinnis. Willie McGinnis.
Guinness.
Okay. So yeah, they've had out of 20 years, we just mentioned like 6. I mean, that's
most of their draft picks start at 32, and
it doesn't matter, man.
Well, they drafted Tom Brady too. Remember?
I said that. I said Brady. I brought him up.
Okay. I didn't hear you say that.
I said Brady, Gronk, and Hernandez. Okay, there's 3. Then we added about 3 more, so that's 6 in 20 years. I mean, that's horrible.
I think they drafted Amendola. Amendola's a good wide receiver, but he's not gold jacket.
We got to get him on Tampa. That's going to be my new thing. I'm just going to start saying that. We got to get him.
Trade him would break.
Like to come, to be honest. I he'd like to come.
That's it. You know how Peter Blake wants a victim of volume T-shirt? I want a we got to get him T-shirt.
Package break for blank. Fill in the name.
Blank is a free agent. Yeah. We got to get him.
Yeah. Trade Brady now and trade Brady and 3 draft picks and go get Deshaun Watson. That's what I keep hearing. Is things like that.
Oh my God!
Are you serious?
Yeah, yes. I keep hearing stuff like that.
I would go with that Holbert kid from San Diego if we were going to go grab somebody's roster. Hubert or Hubert.
Oh, you're saying no. You're not going to trade a guy that's actually like. You got Watson, who's like they're trying to get rid of him. San Diego's not going to get rid of San Diego. The Chargers are not going to get rid of Herbert, but
no, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, Watson
that guy's going to be somebody.
Yeah, he already is somebody.
No,
man. He could be a starter.
I can't make it in this league, but yeah, I mean, guys, there's so much to process about what happened this year. I mean, there's so much to process that I think we forget. I think everybody thinks I think you forget of how many steps, how many dominoes fell this year. And
but Rick, you have to remember too that we didn't need all those people. I mean, the reason Brady came here before Gronk said yes was we already had an established offensive system in here.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's go through some people here.
Two decent running backs.
Okay, let's go through this then, Matt. Matt, that's an interesting question because let's go through this. All right, let's say we who do we get rid of? Without Fournette, do the Bucs win a Super Bowl?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm asking. No, I know you didn't. No, I'm not saying you said that. I'm going through this and saying that's an interesting point. We didn't need all of these people. Okay, that's fair.
Rojo and Fournette are in the same caliber. I don't like Rojo. He doesn't. Something about when he comes in the game, the offense doesn't work. But with Fournette, it seems like he always picks up positive yards.
It depends. I think it depends. Yeah. Sometimes he does. And by the way, for anybody who's been around Bucs Report for a while, you'll appreciate this. And I'm going to add this to it's a sort of a meme grinder thing. Okay. I'm going to add this. If you've been around Bucs Report for a little bit this year, you will appreciate this.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, some of you will know what that means. Some of you are going to be like, what?
That was the worst halftime show I've seen in 10 years. I swear to God, that thing was just total trash.
You know what? I heard what I heard is that it's basically when you order prints on Wish.com. Listen, I didn't think it was. Here's the thing: is I think our expectations or hopes have been set to a point that, look, the show itself wasn't bad, but what we expect out of a halftime show from the Super Bowl, I think our expectations are insanely through the roof.
Last year, the year before this one, they had that guy that was Maroon 5, and he was terrible. Everybody said
that about Shakira and J-Lo. They were terrible, and it doesn't matter who's up there. Everybody every year goes, they were terrible. Okay, Katy Perry, she was terrible.
She warrant that. Katy Perry doesn't have that.
I thought last year was J-Lo and Shakira.
Yeah, that's what I said. J-Lo and Shakira. Everybody said that was terrible.
That was fantastic. No. I
get you, but I mean,
I see a theme here.
I thought last year was great too, but I mean,
I like Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga was good. Gaga was good.
She was really good.
She did her bit.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, who are you going to put up there that in general people are going to like, because it's the cool thing to do to hate on whoever comes out there now. And you know what? This guy, first of all, he's The Weeknd. I mean, it was sponsored by Pepsi. That's what it was. It was a Pepsi showcase thing. It was a whatever. All right. Who did you want to have out there? Who did you want to put out there? Now you're going to put somebody like let's say Carrie Underwood out there. Okay? What did you say?
Mike with his arms.
What did I miss?
Mike's wanting some attention over here, buddy.
You need to call on him.
Oh, Mike, what? What, Mike? Just talk.
Well, you get
have a microphone in front of you, buddy.
That guy the weekend, he's Canadian.
That's the problem then. He thought we were champions.
Mike, you don't want to say that too loud, right? Mike's gonna leave. Mike's gonna leave. He's mad. No, I think I look at the halftime show and go, all right, that was different. It was okay. It was, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was, whatever. It wasn't Coldplay around it.
Year two, you gotta remember that we had COVID, so he had restrictions.
Yeah, but there's just a lot that our expectations. They're not all going to be Michael Jackson. I mean, who's out there?
Roche here and say, who cares? It's a halftime show.
Well, exactly.
Right.
Who's out there right now that's going to be that great? Who is out there that you're going to bring in?
Motley Crue. If they keep it
that would be so cool. That would be cool.
Metallica.
Mick Mars first, wouldn't they?
What's that?
Wouldn't they have to unearth Mick Mars?
I don't know. I just think. There's a certain amount of. You look at some of these. Everybody's like, all the old people are going, "Yeah, man, bring on Motley Crue." But everybody that's less than 40 is going to be like, "What?
Who?
Right? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So
I like Motley Crue. I love Motley Crue, but for the younger generation, they're just going to scratch their head.
Right. So my point being, in general,
I don't believe that, Rick. I think Motley Crue's one of those bands like I don't know, Zeppelin or something. And
like Lawrence Welk, man.
Lawrence Welk, my ass. They put on a show, dude.
No, I agree with Rick. I think Ben Green, even though they're old and dirt, that would probably get everybody rocking would be Rolling Stones.
Yeah, or Bon Jovi.
Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
Bon Jovi would be good.
They've done that though.
Bon Jovi, I think, is about okay. Bon Jovi.
Here's one, Mr. Rogers.
I just don't think anything's going to stand up to like the Prince, the Lady Gaga. Those were shows, and we're not getting shows now.
Right. Who are the most popular shows right now? Who are the most popular artists right now? If you remember, everybody loved. Oh crap! What's the name of the group? What's the name of the group? Hold on. Imagine Dragons. Everybody loved Imagine Dragons until they did the halftime show of the national championship game, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, they're like Nickelback. Everybody started hating on Imagine Dragons. What the heck? What the heck is with people?
Put the Foo Fighters up there. Then they put on a great show.
I thought they were good.
I just think there's got to be a group from today that you can use. It doesn't have to be one of our 50, 60-year-old generation. It doesn't have
Van Fleet.
No Garth Brooks.
Van Fleet.
Willow put out there, no old Weezer hair band.
Beyonce did it already, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Beyonce's done it
twice. Yeah, she guest appearance on Bruno Mars show.
Yeah, and Bruno Mars put on a show, man.
Bruno Mars was good.
He'd be another good one. Bruno would be fantastic.
Yeah, I just can't think of. There just aren't that many groups right now that are like, that are right now. There aren't. Well, there aren't that many popular, really hugely popular groups right now.
Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Lizzo.
Hey, Matt, real quick, Matt, because I don't want to. I want to make. You were making a point before we started talking about Super Bowl groups. And what was that point that you were making?
Thank you. Part of my show. Listen, man.
Thank you, Steven.
This is my show. Yeah, this is how this show goes. I get it. We go off the rails. Welcome to my shows.
I'm usually the captain of the train when it starts to crash.
Matt was making a great point. I agree with him, but we got off on bands.
What was it?
Forgot what he was. I'm asking you. I can't even remember.
Yeah, I speak stream of conscious, and it gets me in trouble. So there's no telling what I said.
Well, I will say this then. Well, I'll be on this. We were also talking about draft picks. And I'm going to tell you, the guy who really, to me, more than anyone gets the least amount of credit and really deserves the most is Jason Light. I mean, he has done a phenomenal job.
He has over the last 3 years.
Hated for a while.
You gotta know this.
I mean,
you gotta know this.
He's amazing.
You guys gotta know from me. I went through earlier this year, and gosh, if I still have it around here, I'll bring it up. I'll play it tomorrow night. I had a rant about Jason Light before the year started.
I remember that.
Yeah, going off on people, just saying, you guys are idiots. He's put together a Super Bowl quality roster. Anybody who thinks, and that's my exact words before the year started, was he's put together a Super Bowl quality roster. It doesn't mean they're going to win, but he's put together a Super Bowl quality roster.
And the way you broke that down, showing that he was building for 3 different head coaches.
Right.
And so that's what caused the failure rate.
Right.
If people would accept that and recognize it.
Well, he did not get to choose. When he came in as GM, he was handed Lovie Smith. And if you remember, this is Jason Light. At first, he's drafting for Lovie Smith, and who was the offensive coordinator? Jeff Tedford. You guys remember that whole story where Jeff Tedford,
he never showed up.
Lovie Smith sat in his basement dreaming about Jeff Tedford being on offense. If y'all remember that, it was like, it was a little weird.
Didn't he have a heart attack?
Yes, and he came in, he coached like 1 preseason game, had a heart attack, and quit.
Well, he was forced to quit for medical reasons.
Well, no, because then he went and coached in college. He didn't want to be there.
Well, he got better.
He had no heart.
He got better.
Right. So what ended up happening is I think it was the quarterback's coach became the offensive coordinator that year. And
it was some goofy guy. Munkin? Was it Munkin?
Yeah, Todd Munkin. Todd Munkin. But then the thing is this. Okay, so Jason Light has now drafted for Lovie Smith, Jeff Tedford, Todd Munkin's team, whoever he's supposed to be drafting for that mess. Okay, now the next year comes along. He's still got. He's gonna. Okay, now we've got a plan. Let's put this together. He starts to draft for them, and then what happens after that year? They fire Lovie Smith and the whole coaching staff, and you bring in who? You bring in Dirk, right? You elevate Dirk, who you brought in last year, and make him head coach, and now you're drafting for Dirk's offense, right? And Dirk's team. Now, what happens? Dirk brings in Mike Smith. You've got a different. You go from I think it's the Tampa 2 style sort of to Mike Smith's. I think it's. Am I right? It's a 3-4.
It was a 4-3 special, which was ridiculous the way he set it up, man.
Okay, I was thinking it was a 3-4.
Yeah,
and then
he ran a lot of cover 3.
Right, and then what ended up happening? So now you're drafting for this. So all the guys you drafted previously, everybody's going to say they suck because now they're trying to play in the wrong system. In the meantime, the Glazers bring in who? They bring in Darrelle Revis because that'll sell tickets, and then tell him to play the style he's never played in his life.
And how did that go?
I thought Darrelle Revis was Mr. Shiana.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, that was Shauna.
Right. Sorry about that. Okay, but then what happens? So now you've got we
paid Gerald McCoy.
Drafted for Mike Smith and Dirk Cutter, and then what happens? Finally, Jason Light gets to bring in his own people, and he brings in Jason Light, and he finally gets to draft his people. And how has he drafted over the last 2 years?
I think he's done really well.
Great.
I think you could win a Super Bowl. I think you could win a Super Bowl with the team that he's drafted.
Probably.
Yes, I think you could probably win a Super Bowl with the team he's put together as well.
Toss in a few cream cheese.
Rick, as far as that 3-4, what you're talking about, the 3-4, that would never work. They had to go with the 4-3 special because of Gerald McCoy. He can't play in a 3-4. He's a horrible run blocker.
That's what I thought part of the problem was, is you were asking him to do some things.
No, they put him. They tried it and they put it back to the 4-3 special. And
they tried it. And
McCoy had some success out there, but was garbage still.
Still, that's a good way to word it. Still,
best player on a horrible team.
Now, having said that, I'm not opposed to bringing McCoy in next year at a veteran minimum.
Shut your mouth.
And saying
you'd be trying to put him back in a scheme that he couldn't fit in, man.
Yeah. So I think you bring him back in and use him as, and he's depth. He's not got to be the center of the team where you're acting like he's all that. Now he's just like one of the players. He's a role player.
Who's going to play 93? Is Sue going to give up his number?
I don't see that working. I don't see that working at all because as soon as you put him in, they know exactly what scheme you're going to because you can only play in one.
Yep. I remember now. I remember what Matt said that I agree with. Matt, I agree with you. I don't like Rojo either. I was really pissed when they had 4th and 1. I don't understand why they used him at 4th and 1. He is not a power back. He's just speed back.
I don't understand the use of it. I agree with you. I agree 100% with you. I don't understand why they
scored that 1 yard.
Yeah, Rojo is like shady, man. That's how he plays. I mean, except he can't catch the ball.
They completely misused Rojo on that drive. But for everybody who says Rojo sucks, you're forgetting the good games that he had.
Rojo's explosive.
Yes,
you're forgetting. No, I don't think he sucks. I just think that Fournette can do what he does.
I don't think Fournette is going to run that 90-yard
run.
No, he's
a short yardage.
Rojo is more one-dimensional.
Exasperating runner.
He's slightly faster, but that's about it.
Listen, you'll get a 30-yard run out of him, but you're not going to get a 98-yard run out of him. So,
Fournette?
Right.
Yes, you'll get a 30-yard run.
But you don't need a
98-yard run. 6 points out of him.
You don't need a 98-yard run if it goes to eat up the clock.
No, listen, I'm a fan. I am a fan of Fournette, and I've repeatedly told everybody on here how wrong I was when everybody started. As soon as the Jags cut him, we got to get him. And I was like, oh God. It's just because I'm so sick of hearing about everybody that I just block it out now. It doesn't even matter who it is. I mean, it might be somebody we could use, and I'm like, oh God.
Are you saying no to J.J. Watt?
Yes.
I'm not saying no to anybody anymore. Not at this point. Listen, not at this point.
He's going to be like what Johnny Dean was saying Gerald McCoy would end up being because J.J. isn't going to start. The guy can't make a season. He gets broken every year.
I think it's
what, JJ?
Yeah, J.J. Watt's going to.
Listen, J.J. Watt is a different type of animal. He had to be the defense there. He wouldn't be that here. Okay, it's a different situation. It's a totally different circumstance. That's why I say that it would be different with McCoy because before McCoy was on the plastered on the side of the stadium. Now he's just going to be a role player if he comes back, and that's an open role player.
I got something to say.
Yeah.
Where's all this money coming from? We got to sign Shaq. We got to sign.
No, these are guys that are going to come cheap.
Just wait a second. David, Levante David, Shaq, Fournette, Gladwin.
You're not going to keep all of them.
Where's this money to come from?
You're not keeping all of them. That's where money's coming from.
In the next coming years, you're just going to have to pick and choose.
Yeah, listen, if they don't get here's the thing. If you don't get Shaq Barrett back and instead you have J.J. Watt,
how do you replace Shaq?
That's not a downgrade, by the way.
No, it's not a downgrade. That's my point. It's like you can get J.J. Watt cheaper than you're going to get Shaq Barrett. So
true.
I think, okay, if that's what you have to settle with. Listen, man, New England's been doing this for years. New England's done this for years. For 2 decades, New England did this.
Although that's not a replacement for Shaq Barrett. J.J. Watt plays defensive tackle.
No,
He would be
right.
At the end.
I asked you a question earlier about restructure. How does that work? Restructure all the contracts.
That's what I was saying. The money that he's slated to make this year. Okay, let's say this. Pretend for a second you're slated to make $30 million, $10 million a year. All right. Now, next year, you've got a salary cap crunch. So what you do is instead of saying you're going to make 10 every year, you're going to make 5 the first year. You'll make 12.5 the next year and 12.5 the next year. You just restructured. You're making the same amount. It's just structured differently so that next year you have more salary cap room.
There's backloading, there's front loading, there's bonus money. You can give a guy a contract almost in bonus money.
Right.
I think we did that.
Mike Evans wants to restructure. Brady wants to restructure. So
Brady doesn't need money. The guy, he just needs to be paid to occupy the space, but he doesn't need a dime. I mean, the guy could come in there for $150 a game and $10,000 a completed pass, and he'd be fine.
Right.
So you can.
I'd be interested in hearing Jay. Just curious because I think I've heard you talk about this on other shows. I wonder who you guys are okay with losing. I'll be honest, I'm okay with losing Godwin because I don't think we're going to be able to keep him.
Godwin needs to go.
And the main reason I'm okay with losing him is because he played.
Yeah,
he played well in the season. He played well in the regular season, but he had way too many drops in the playoffs. And I think AB can do everything Godwin can do, and then some, and do it better. Especially if he's given a whole season to do it.
I think Godwin is the most replaceable because wide receiver is one of the easier positions to find.
I think that's absolutely
Mike, Godwin is going to be gone because his whole body language in these interviews says so. He's the only one that has not said that he's coming back.
He's the only one who hasn't said he really wants to be back.
Yeah.
Right.
It's his time to go out and make his big money contract anyway. That's what
nobody should be mad at him or hate him or
$60 million a year player.
He's and anybody who's mad at Shaq Barrett for cashing in? No. But listen, guys, there's going to be we have no idea who it's going to end up as. Okay, mark my words right now. There's going to be some player that you don't have any clue may end up on the Buccaneers. Some guy,
Russell Wilson.
There's going to be some guy that we've all heard of that is going to end up on the Bucs. Because I'm telling you something, there's probably already a line forming outside of Jason Light's door to say, "Let me in." Okay. So just. Everybody right now, this is the time when we're all gonna. This is a new experience for all of us, and any of us who acts like we know what the hell is going on is lying. Okay, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know about the contract negotiations going on. We don't know the details. Right now, we're gonna have to buckle up and go along for the ride, have fun guessing and everything. And if you get right, you can act like you knew it all along. But the thing is, you're guessing at this point. We're all guessing at this point. That's the fun of this. This is new. We're Super Bowl champs, and we've got a good crack at being Super Bowl champs next year. So people want
16 wins.
Yes, people want to come here. And anybody chasing, listen, man, if you can get Adrian Peterson on the veteran minimum, and listen, this guy's not begging for cash. He's not, Matt. I mean,
well, he is, but he ain't going to get it.
No, there's nowhere he's going to get a ton of money.
The O-line we got. Our O-line has become a powerhouse in the NFL.
Yes.
And I think Adrian Peterson, you put Adrian Peterson in there in replace of whoever, and he's going to get his yards too.
Right.
He can still run.
He got 4 yards per carry in Detroit.
Yeah.
And he can catch.
Good point.
Right. So that's why I'm like, everybody who's like, I don't want Adrian Peterson. Why not? I mean, you wanted Shady McCoy, didn't you? I mean, you realize what McCoy did going before last year? The year before this season that just ended, he played in 2 games and then didn't see the field again after that. And everybody was excited that we got Shady McCoy.
Right.
Now you see Adrian Peterson, who averaged 4 yards per carry and rushed all season long for Minnesota. You're like, nah, we don't need him.
That kills me, man. That kills me sometimes.
Hey, Steve, I hear a rumor that the Bucs are looking at that guy from the Patriots, the running back.
Okay. I thought you were talking about that. No,
White.
Yeah, he'd be a good pickup.
I don't know if that's a rumor or if that's just a lot of Patriots fans talking.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with you, Rick and JD. I would prefer Adrian Peterson for all the reasons you guys mentioned online. He could definitely get at least 4, if not better. He got 4 yards per carry in Detroit. He can definitely do that down here. Right. And he would be much cheaper option than Fournette. I'd be fine with Fournette leaving if we got Adrian Peterson. Because he can do Fournette. He can actually do it. He can do it better. He really can.
You have to take a deep breath and understand that we're going to lose people. If you've watched New England do this for years, you've watched great players come and go in New England, and you have to understand that's going to happen here. Okay, you win Super Bowls, people leave. Okay,
there's Mike again.
You've got to understand that. What happened?
I have a question. Okay, offensive line. Now they really stepped up towards the end. I was not the biggest Smith fan in the world after he did a great job. Who are we losing off of that?
I couldn't hear what you said.
The offensive line.
What about it?
Who are we going to lose, and how are we going to replace them?
I don't know that we're going to lose anyone on offensive line. I don't believe that there are any key free agents on offensive line. Donovan Smith is not a free agent.
No.
Right. He's in a contract year. We're going to have to sign him.
No, we've got it's a team option. No, he's signed on the team. He is on the team. Okay, it's just the Bucks can say, "Listen, you want to stay here? You're going to have to take a pay cut, or we're going to cut you."
Right.
Now, right, but there are. Listen, this is the beauty of all of this. I don't know. And does anybody in here know who the list of free agents are on every team, or who teams are going to cut because of salary cap moves that aren't free agents now? None of us know. And that's why right now we don't know how this is all going to shake out. And that's going to be part of the fun ride we're about to all go through. Strap in, because this offseason is going to be crazy. Okay, they're going to be shuffling in and out, and Brady's going to have to do it again with a new team next year.
Okay,
we don't have any reason to gripe this year, though. This is so uncharacteristic of the Buccaneers team. We don't have Winston to go, oh shit, he sucks, and we don't have, McCoy. I don't want to pay him anymore. We don't have that villain to put in to the conversation.
Right. There's no villain on this team. You're right. You're right. There's no villain on this team. I mean, I figured it was going to be Donovan Smith, and look at what that guy did. I mean, there's no villain. Yeah.
On the open market, what's Shaq and Levante David worth, in your opinion?
Shaq about 20.
What? Shaq's going to get about 18 to 20.
Yeah.
Really?
What about Levante?
Yeah.
16?
Levante ain't going to hit the market, I don't think.
Around 15 for Levante.
Yeah, I was saying 14 to 16 for
I think they'll keep Levante.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I do think that they'll use the franchise tag. I'm just not sure.
Use it again on Shaq.
Why not just franchise Godwin?
I don't know that you need to. That's the thing, is I just don't know that you need to and pay him that much money.
Such a good player.
Here's an interesting thought. Right, with Shaq Barrett, they looked at how many sacks he's got without Vita Vea, and it's a heck of a lot less. A heck of a lot less. Like, he gains an extra 2 sacks on average.
Wow.
Well, that's one extra man he's not having to get around, because Vea takes up 2 or 3
what I'm saying is that if you take that away, JPP didn't miss a beat. He can do it with or without. He has done it.
Yeah, right.
His numbers didn't change based on if Vita Vea was in.
Right.
But Shaq's did. Shaq would get 3 sack games, or he'd get nothing.
Is that an excellent point? The fact that they were Shaq?
You see that they used Shaq quite differently when Veda was.
That's what I think. I don't think
they used him in stunts. They used him. They was bringing him inside. They were trying to get inside rush. They were helping. He was helping with the run stopping. He was doing containment plays. Most of his plays were containment plays against those quarterbacks.
Right. They used him differently. He was not going after the quarterback nearly as much without Vea.
He had more pressures than sacks this year.
Well, that's good enough, though. Yeah. I mean, we've got an 8-game winning streak going, right?
Yeah.
So if we open up the season next year with 8 games, we got the Tiger smash. We get 16 in a row, and then we can go from there.
Yeah.
I think what I'm saying is, I reckon we could probably draft somebody and develop them.
Well, that's listen, not drafting at 32. Okay, if we draft an edge rusher at 32, the chances of him being a superstar are not extremely high. Okay, there'll be a role player. They can be good. I mean, it's not that they're not going to be good, but you're probably not getting, an amazing, somebody amazing that deep in the draft. Now, although when did Shaq Barrett get drafted? So the thing is,
we will probably draft an edge rusher, but he's going to be a rotation guy, and he's going to come in and get up to speed that way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Listen, guys,
that's building depth for the future.
Funniest thing is that's what the draft is going to be, is building depth. Now, there are going to be holes that are going to come up because we're going to lose people. And everybody's going to say, Jason Light never said, watch. It's coming. Okay? And by the way, if you guys remember my prediction about Tom Brady holding up the Lombardi and the confetti falling, if any of you remember what I said, I promise you somebody's going to be out there saying, while Tom Brady's holding up the trophy, watch tomorrow night when we have our segment.
Stupid Bucks fans say.
Just wait and see, because man, while everybody was so well behaved for a couple of weeks there in the playoffs.
Oh, there's still some idiots out there. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you.
I can't tell you how many times people said we paid the refs off.
Yeah, free range idiots this week.
We would have got one for you. We should bring in and trade for Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh yeah, that's.
Wow. That'd be.
You know what? Normally, I would go apocalyptic on you right there with that one. But after AB, I can't say nothing, dude. That's taking it all out of my sales.
I know it's not his attitude or anything like. His contract's massive.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade anything
million
for him.
Here, what's the saying, guys? What is the saying, guys? We need to get him.
Yeah, package break.
Nothing that we do would surprise me right now.
I have to create some sort of a quick graphic, like the entry, like the opening to
stupid Bucks fans say.
You know the little video intro I do to that? Well, I've got I need to create some quick little video that says we need to get him. Because every time anybody comes up,
get the producer on that.
Yeah. Get the producer. Oof.
Yeah, OBJ would have to step up his practice game to play with Brady, man. Huh.
Well, Brady wouldn't let him. Remember when Ocho Cinco went to New England and disappeared because he wouldn't run his routes right? Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, OBJ is he's not what Brady likes. He wants somebody who's going to be practicing, who wants to play football, and OBJ is not that guy.
It's a cancer. Get rid of
it.
They said the same thing about Fournette.
Yep. Yeah, they did. They said the same thing about Fournette. We heard the same thing about AB. Listen, guys, you remember how all these idiots went to New England, and whenever they went to New England, they'd always behave?
Not all of them. Not all of them. You forget about the ones that got kicked out because they wouldn't.
Like who?
They didn't hang around, did they?
Because they're out of the league now. They're out of the league.
Randy Moss was amazing.
Because Randy Moss is a workout freak too.
But he was a problem child on all the rosters, previously, if you remember all of that.
Yeah, with his mouth though, but it was never his work ethic.
No, but I'm saying there were all these problem children that would go to New England and perform well and not be an issue. And that's why I just think you're going to see it here, man. You saw it with Fournette. Fournette came in, busted his butt, was a great player for the team. He's going to cash in and leave. You saw the same thing out of AB, although I don't think he's leaving. I really don't think AB's leaving. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think AB will leave.
I agree with you on that, Rick.
I don't know about Fournette either because I don't think the running back market is as high.
I think they're going to lose Fournette.
What did you say, Randy?
Yeah.
I was saying on Fournette, I don't know if he will leave because I don't think the running back market is as high as people think.
No, but it's not. I don't think that matters. I don't think it's as high. I don't think you're going to break the bank like Shaq Barrett's going to, but I think he's very replaceable on the Bucs, and somebody is going to want. And I'll use the playoff Lenny, Super Bowl Lenny. Right now, he's got that name. He's going to sell tickets. He's going to go somewhere and make more money going somewhere else. And I feel like he came in. If you heard what he said on the field. When he walked up to Brady, he said, "Thanks for letting me be here."
Right.
I mean, he was already saying goodbye.
Well, you can read that into it, I guess.
Yeah, you can read that in multiple ways. Man.
I don't think he wants to be here. I don't think he wants to be here.
Opened the door for him, so I think that could be thank you for letting me come in.
Yeah, I don't. The way that it was said, and Brady said, thanks. Basically, like saying, "Well, thanks for coming." The way that it was said was like, all right, guys, this was, thanks. I appreciate it. You rehabbed my image. We won a Super Bowl. That's awesome. And everybody who loves Fournette, that's fine. And I get it. And I wish we could keep them all, but we can't.
See, I heard he said something like
one of the most replaceable. That's the thing, guys. He's one of the most
behind our O-line.
Yeah, think about New England. New England has James White and this guy and that guy. They've always got all these bit role players. They got 3-4 running backs that are running. This is what Tampa's going to be like. So understand that. Yeah, we got this running back who had this great year. Now he's going to go cash in somewhere else, and the Bucs will fill in the spot with someone else because they can do that now, and that's what's different.
I think some of the change you see in these players is the fact they come from these teams that are like Jacksonville that are just mismanaged, and they come down here, and you got Arians with all his free thinking, rebuild the way football is done kind of thing with 200 coaches. That's what helped Donovan Smith. Somebody said we got to get him squared away, and they put 4 or 5 people on him, I'm sure, and got him back technique-wise. Well, he wouldn't have done that if he was somewhere else.
I don't know.
It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, I don't know. I
know something, Rick. I know something for sure.
What's that?
That Josh Rosen is the heir apparent.
No, I agree that we can get rid of Fournette because in every interview, exactly what we're saying. It's never, hey, I can't wait to be here. I love being here. It's always, hey, it's been great being a part of this. He's always kind of talking in almost the past tense kind of way. And one of the first things he always is, I'm used to being bell cow. It was kind of different, not being that role. And at first it kind of bothered me, but it was very humbling. So he wants to go someplace where he can be a star again, and more power to him.
I don't have a problem with it. And that's what we're going to have to adjust to as Bucs fans. Is you're not going to have some of these guys are not going to come in. You're going to love them for years, like we did with the Bucs from back in the day. It's not going to be like that. You're going to have role players come in like Fournette. You're going to have role players come in that are here for a few years and then they're gone.
Well, that's the point of free agents. That's right, and that's the point of having a good team when a strong foundation that you draft. Because when you draft a strong foundation, you can bring in these great role players, as free agents. And they're gone. And the Bucs aren't used to that because they've never had that strong foundation. When somebody was gone, they were people that were drafted that were like, oh my God, that was our guy. No, that's not happening no more.
Right. And that's the thing, guys. Let's hope that Brady's really strong.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, brother.
So I gotta go. It's like 4 a.m. back here, so I need to go to bed.
Oh. Well, Slick, and I'm gonna, and basically it's time to end this thing anyway. So, Slick, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
I'm Stevie Slick Prober on Facebook.
Okay, you're under Sleepy Stick.
Sleepy Stick.
Sleepy. I'm sleepy now.
You're under Stevie Slick. What is it?
Stevie Slick Probert.
Probert, folks, and that's where you can find him. All right,
much appreciated,
thanks, man. Have a great night. Go Bucs. See you tomorrow night if you're around.
Will do.
All right.
Is Teresa frozen?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't see you moved there for a while. I was like, wow.
I'm looking at comments and listening to you guys.
All right. Teresa, where can they find you so that they can people can send you friend requests?
Teresa Baxter on Facebook.
Teresa Baxter on Facebook. Teresa, thanks for coming by. We got another show tomorrow night.
I don't remember what Twitter was. Okay. Hi, guys. Well, love y'all.
Love you, Teresa. All right. And let's go to Big Randy. Randy, where can people find you?
I'm Big Randy, and I don't want to be found.
I don't even know how to follow that up. I don't even know how to follow that up. So, okay. Steven, where do they find you?
Hey, I'm Steve Glasker. You can find me on my YouTube channel under Steven Glasker, and you can also find me on Facebook. Same name, same picture, same sunglasses.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, Matt, where do they find you, brother?
About 2 feet under snow. That's what it looks like.
Where do they find you on Facebook?
I'm at Matt Colson on Facebook, and I don't tweet, and I don't tweet, and I don't TikTok. I don't do any of that nonsense. So, hook me up on Facebook, and maybe I'll add you to my list. I'm not real popular with, or don't have the idea that I want to get a bunch of friends. I like a small confined group. So
I'm going to send you a lot of friends requests now.
You already do, Johnny. Way too many. Trying to get me to join anything that says NFL. Anyway, it was fun tonight, Rick. I don't know if I'll be able to get on here tomorrow. I'll try.
That's okay. We really don't want you.
I know.
Oh, tomorrow's going to be the fun show, man.
I know tomorrow is the fun show. Tomorrow's where things get great. Yeah,
I'm at the mercy of the gods because now it's coming down in buckets.
Well, hopefully you will make it tomorrow night. Stay warm, brother.
You too, Rick. Have a good night, guys.
Take care. All right, Super Bowl hangover lives on. All right, Mike DeRoche, where do people find you, brother?
Just Facebook. That's all.
Under what name?
Just my full name.
Mike, you have to tell them what it is since you don't put it on the screen.
Mike DeRoche.
D-E-R. Spell it.
DESROCHERS.
Yeah, they all got that, I'm sure. Right.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Later, boys.
See you tomorrow night.
Guys.
All right, Johnny, tell them about your page on Facebook that they can all follow you.
Okay, but first I want to say something. I tried to say it earlier.
Yeah.
But everybody was talking, and Teresa put up a post. I can't even find it now, but it was talking about how she felt when she heard that Vita Vea was coming back. Like the trumpets were blaring in heaven. That's exactly how I felt. I wanted to address that earlier, but we never get back around to it.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me at Johnny Dean on Facebook. You can follow my page, What's Happening in Sports and Entertainment. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
I'm like, Matt, I don't do that tweaker or Twitter or twatter.
All right. See you tomorrow night, brother.
Yeah. Later.
Right. Bye. All right, guys. That was a fun show. It was a little bit crazy, but nothing like tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's the one that always gets really crazy. The foul mouth producer has some things to say, and I cannot believe the foul mouth producer actually unplugged the internet tonight. And right here, foul mouth producer is right here doing what the foul mouth producer does. And guys, I just want to tell you, as a Bucks fan for this long, and how exciting it is this week, as it has sunk in, especially like I said, for me, it didn't really sink in until I was watching the parade and watching the speeches after the parade and all of that. To me, man, that's what it was all about. And that moment of when you're watching the people of Tampa celebrating and cheering and after all the heartache and all the years of embarrassment and getting picked on and laughed at, after all those years, or even if, and I love this because it's always, you hear people say, oh, wow, I've never seen so many Bucks fans coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden. Well, yeah, it was probably the smart thing to shut up for a while your team sucked that bad. It's really not the time to trash talk when your team sucks. Okay? It's not the time you want to be running around out there screaming, look at me. Okay? Now is the time to do that. All right? So yeah, maybe you didn't trash talk so much. Maybe you're seeing a lot more people talking a lot more stuff. Well, guess what, guys? That's the way it works. You trash talk when you win. So anybody who doesn't understand why there are more Bucks fans and more people trash talking, anybody from other teams who don't understand why all of a sudden you're seeing all these Bucks fans, it's because you don't trash talk when you're losing. This team's winning. This team just won the Super Bowl. So to everybody else, screw y'all. That's all I got to say about that. Screw y'all. You know what? It's our time to trash talk. Why don't you shut up, losers? Why don't you be quiet? You're the ones who didn't win. You're the ones who went home crying. You're the ones who have to look forward to next year to hopefully knock the guy off the top of the hill. Guess what? We're the guy on the top of the hill. So, yeah, we're going to trash talk a little bit. Yeah, they're going to hear from us. Yeah, Bucs fans are going to pound their chest a little bit. Darn straight. Darn straight we are. Because we can. You don't have a reason to pound your chest. Go Bucs.